Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and welcome to the 2018 Porsche Panamera Turbo Sport Turismo, or Sport Turismo Turbo. Kind of forget the order of things here, but this is one of the coolest daily drivers you could ever own. And today, thanks to Bond Group, we're going to see what it is like to live with a Porsche station wagon. And it's a stylish one at that, but make no mistake, just because this is the family hauler with a hatchback does not mean it's boring. It has 550 horsepower, 557 pound-feet of torque, powering all four wheels, derived from its 4-liter twin-turbo V8 mounted up front, connected to an 8-speed PDK. So no torque converter here. This actually has a PDK. And one of the indicators of power of this car is when you look at the tires. The front section is a 275 section tire. The rears are 315s. That is unbelievable. And so is that cool hawk taken off over there. Sorry, I get very distracted, but this is going to keep my attention because it's quite fast and also very stylish. Now, the funny thing is I was thinking, what are the titles for this car? Because I love a wagon like this because it kind of takes away the market share of the SUV. Everyone just moved to SUVs and wagons got completely eliminated, and now the only wagons we have are kind of super wagons, or at least the ones we think about. We've got the new M5 wagon, you've always had an E63 wagon, we've got the RS6 and the Panamera Sport Truismo. But I do miss the days where people just bought normal cars, but maybe they just had an estate in order to put stuff in it along with the kids. Now everyone thinks they need to have some sort of tank to get around just to do the grocery shopping, and I think it's completely unnecessary. And the reason I'm thinking about this is because I've been watching Mad Men. I just finished my 7th-season rewatch of Mad Men on HBO, and they hire a guy who is terrible at copywriting, and every ad he writes just says the cure for the common something, and I feel like this is the cure for the common SUV. I don't know if anyone else thinks that's funny. I think it's pretty funny. Now this one has kind of a goofy little body kit on it. It's got this carbon fiber thing. So the coolest thing about this car is actually that it has some patina, right? Like this is all torn up over here. It has yellow calipers. Now, if you're in Porsche land, you understand that yellow calipers mean carbon ceramics. And look at that. Those are steel rotors. They're not carbon ceramics. And actually, I had this up on a lift and I looked behind those wheels and you could see the yellow paint peeling off and revealing the red. So you might have got duped, but we know that these are steel brakes, even though it looks kind of cool in yellow. They also did these carbon surrounds here. Some of this I actually kind of dig, some of it I don't. And that's okay. That's okay. But this one has 73,000 miles on it. How could you be mad at this car? You can't be mad at a car that has 73,000 miles on it. This has done its duty and still will continue to do that. And one of the greatest things about it is that the interior, boy, this hold up. This looks fantastic. And the coolest thing about these cars, you get Porsche seats. They say turbo here, which I like. And they seemingly hold up really well to the real world because this has probably been through the trenches just as a daily driver. Something else I like, very German right here, the max speed, 150 miles per hour, 240 kilometers per hour. Because in Germany, whenever they swap a tire, let's say they put the snow tires on, they'll also throw this on the dashboard to let you know, like, hey, you're on the slower equipment. When you're on the Autobahn and you see that no limit sign, don't do 186 because you can't. And that's pretty darn cool. So up front, we've got on a 21-inch wheel, like I said, a 275 section tire, and in the rear, I'm going to say it again because it's cool, a 315. This is like Viper rubber back here, and you'd never know it because it's all hidden behind these gorgeous, sleek body lines. Quad exhaust, more carbon fiber bits with the diffuser, and in the boot. Oh yeah, this is where the party really starts. This is so cool. And I love the idea of this. Now, it's not the widest thing. So yes, you can of course put these seats down. I'm very curious how this would fit my bike because I'm looking at this thinking like, what a cool daily driver. But I already have cars that do what this does. They just don't do it as fast as this does it because this will also do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Oh, so cool. All right, real quick, we're just gonna inspect this interior. This seat is pretty darn far back, and I still have reasonable legroom. Honestly, probably more legroom than I just had in the 4Runner I was driving out in Michigan. Jeez, the rear of these cars are getting so tight, but this is fine, especially in the realm of cars and not in SUVs. It's also a really nice, tight bolstered seat. Not tight, but it'll keep you in place. So whoever's at the helm, whether you're at the Nürburgring or just doing the fun on-ramp near your house, is not going to have to worry about their passengers sliding around too much, because these are all but bucket seats back here. And you don't have to go quite as far as getting a Rapide S to get that. Up front, gorgeous, simple, ergonomic kind of dashboard layout. However, lots of haptic touch buttons, and I think that we're kind of moving away from that in 2026 and forward. I think people are realizing that some of that stuff is distracting or annoying or just not really as premium as it should be. Maybe this will be a bit of a relic of the past, but maybe that is the depreciation note that you need to take in order to get your lovely daily driver that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford because you were not cheap. And this one has the Burmeister audio system too, so it's gonna bump. There's a big subwoofer in the back under there. Big double pane glass up here, which is fantastic for light. And this has lots of tint on it, so hopefully that helps the image quality of this video with those coming through as well. Heated rear seats, but let's jump under the hood, start it up, and I want to just let this sing a little bit. But look at this, ready? Soft close doors all around. We gotta love that. Quick peek under the hood. And there's our familiar turbo V8. Cool cladding, nice heat shielding, and here's your turbos, all the goods. But hey, this is not a Cayenne, this is a Panamera, and that makes it cooler. So let's start it up, jump out, see what you can do in a straight line, and then just live with it a little bit and enjoy it. One thing I do want to show you is it has two modes. So right now, it is sitting up in its high mode because it's on air suspension. But watch this, when we put it in Sport Plus, let's start it. We're gonna get out, I'm gonna try to do this and then run away so you can see it. But when we throw this in Sport Plus, it hunkers down. It gets real nice and low. Oh yeah. So that's the race car setting, which is very exciting. These seats, they get you so low in this. It's unbelievable. Like, you just adapt exactly where you need to be. It's a race car, the way you set this up. It just feels so good when you get in. And let's see, we've got all of our fun settings here. So you've got your, I always gotta call it a Manatino because I'm always thinking of Ferrari with the little switch from the 430 days. But no, there's the little mode switch there for normal, sport, sport plus, and individual. And then you press this button for 20 seconds of insanity where it just downshifts and does all the things. Into drive. I do think it's pretty cool that this is PDK. Oh, it also has four-wheel steering. Not that loud, but you almost want to go buy one of these at a bargain and then straight pipe it just for fun. A little burble. Yeah, you'll be doing some unnecessary downshifts in this car, that's for certain. Oof, this thing rips. Love it when the station wagon can rip light to light like a muscle car. This is so much fun. All right, let's go back to discreet mode. We've got neighbors. We're just a guy in a fancy German family car. Nothing to see here, guys. Just a middle management executive who had some stock options. into sport mode. I don't really need to change it for this one. Interesting line. Oh, I see what you're doing there. You never know. So the thing that I find really charming about this car is that it's precise and easy to dial, but it's also damped in a relatively luxurious manner. It's not a Bentley, but it's also not so harsh and fine that it takes away from the fact that it's meant to be a luxurious executive thing. And I think splitting that difference is really a challenge. The air suspension certainly helps because it allows it to kind of hunker down, firm up, do its thing. But it also allows it to absorb some of the imperfections. And even the steering, it's precise and easy, but it's also tactile enough through whatever damping they're putting in, with all the bushings and all the things that are going on with this car. Sometimes you can get lost in the slop, but it's not. Kind of unnecessarily using my paddles, but I like having PDK. And also when it's PDK, I don't feel silly using paddles. Sometimes when I'm using paddle shifters on a torque converter automatic, it does feel a little silly. It does feel like I'm in the early 2000s using Tiptronic on an Acura TL or something. And trying to pretend that I'm driving a manual. But with PDK, with a proper dual clutch transmission, it doesn't feel silly. It actually just feels like how you would drive the car. Look at how this puts power down. It's so shocking. It never gives up. It never feels like it's ever in a position that it's not going to be able to find a place to put down this torque. It just hooks up. I'm being very extra right now, but we can't go fast. It's wet, it's salty, it's sloppy. There's some people out, but we can make some noise with this V8. I think my only complaint about this V8 is it isn't noisy enough. I think one of the joys of my life would be canyon carving in this and keeping up with some big dogs that bought hardcore sports cars that maybe aren't aware that the Panamera is as capable as it is. Oh my God, perfect timing. Let's get it. The best thing about anything that's a Porsche is that it's still a Porsche. It is designed to be driven hard. It's designed to be driven by people who like driving. So sure, maybe a Macan isn't my dream Porsche, but the fun thing is when I get into a Macan, I still have a good time. That's still something that you can go to Atlanta or LA and get on the Porsche Experience Center track with. Like, they'll let you drive that, and you'll get to see, like, hey, what can this do out here? And they're like really ready to put their money where their mouths are. And that's how I feel about this car right now. Is it 100% earns its Porsche badge because this thing just hustles. It's so much fun. It's not even just numbers, it's actually enjoyable. Like, I want to get in this. I want to do it. I want to get in it more because it looks like a station wagon. And I think there's just like a sleeper vibe to it. Is this my favorite turbo V8? No, it's really not. It does the job. I wish it had a little more character in the powertrain department, just because I think Porsche really is the powertrain king when it comes to flat sixes, and that's really fun. But you know, this is more of a Cayenne engine that they adapted for this. I think it's still great. I just don't know that the engine doesn't necessarily wow me. The overall package wows me, and I feel like this is more than the sum of its parts. Oh yes, top down in the SC430 with an exhaust. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry I talked over that. Is there a Panamera behind me? I think there's a Panamera behind me. Double Panameras. Is he a wagon? Wait, did we just find Dude, oh my God. That's a white wagon. We're in a black wagon. This is so cool. If he puts his blinker on, we're going back down this road. Oh, he's going that way? Weird. There's nothing that way. Let's see. Is it a wagon? Is it a wagon? Is it a wagon? Come on, come on, come on. It's a wagon! Oh! I can't believe we just ran into that. That is so cool. Now, I don't know if he was another turbo. We have to just accept that there's a lot of variance, and Porsche has a ridiculously large dynamic range of vehicles at this point. In fact, somebody just asked me the other day on my Instagram question story, what do you think, which automaker do you think has the greatest range of vehicles? And I said Porsche, because you get cars like a GT2 RS, a GT3 RS, through Macan, Cayenne, Panamera, all the way up to Taycan Turbo GT, where you've got an EV with over 1,000 horsepower. It's hard to say that anyone has that kind of dynamic range in consumer cars. Now, somebody did come back and say, like, wait a minute, what about Mercedes-Benz? I mean, they have sports cars, but they also go all the way up to trucks and buses and sprinters, and like, I agree with that, but I think that end of the spectrum is more commercial vehicles, and I don't know that it kind of counts in the spirit of the question. And the other thing is, Mercedes has really sort of walked away from sports cars. I mean, sure, look, you can take the extreme and say they make an AMG 1, but no one has that, and you're maybe never going to see one. That's not a real car. I mean, it's a car, but it's not like a real consumer product that people are out there buying. And we're also seeing that the AMG GT is somewhat neutered. It's not quite what it used to be. And I don't know, an SL, that's not really a sports car anymore. It's a very fast Grand Touring convertible. So I just have a hard time seeing the fact that Porsche isn't the greatest dynamic range in the market right now. And this car kind of proves some of that, where you're like, wow, you can even get a 550 horsepower station wagon. Granted, Mercedes also makes that, but is it sitting next to your, GT3 RS? You can argue AMG GT Black Series, but they don't make that anymore. Okay, that's enough of my ranting. We can have that argument all day, every day, and I'd be happy to have it. Let's go this way. Now let's just go live with it. Oh, all right. I mean, you could have gone, but thank you. It was nice of you not to go and be like a kind person in your Range Rover, which is not always the case. So she's really doing her job and bringing up the reputation of Range Rover owners. Oh, the suspension's fantastic. See, this is the thing. We can play all the games of on-ramps, off-ramps, accelerations, launch controls. That stuff is great. It doesn't matter. This is cozy and comfortable, and I want to drive it. There are some interior rattles. Hear that? Okay. It doesn't really bother me that much, especially because these are depreciated quite a bit. If I paid new car prices for that, it might make me mad. If no one's telling you to stop, you gotta go, baby. There we go. That's lovely. Thank you. Also, thank you to cops who do details and don't walk into the road. I don't know what it is about it, but there's so many times when you get detail cops who want to be right in the action, and I'm like, dude, please move away. I do not want to hit you, and it's very frustrating. Whoa, that is so sick. Okay, I want to operate that crane very, very badly. Tree guys, unsung heroes. Unsung heroes. They are so brave, maybe insane. They're kind of like the deep sea welders of the terrestrial land, or maybe that goes to those guys who change the light bulbs in those radio towers. Either way, tree guys, respect. All right, let's just mat it and see what happens. This is a very adept, fast vehicle. Oh my goodness. Just lays it down. This guy's brave. I have hung up my bike for the winter because these roads are terrible and I don't like being in the cold. But look at him. He doesn't care. He's going for it. What is that? Is that a 2CV? Yep. Oh, baby. We have got a day on our hands. We have found a Citroen 2CV. Let's see if we can peek around this X3. Yeah, that's older than the one that I was driving. I was driving a Charleston, which is like an 80s version of a 2CV. That looks quite a bit older. Look at that. I think we're going to catch him. Dude, he's going down my road. This guy's a legend. Well, I'm just going to stalk him. Why not? Sorry, bud. Saab wagon. Love to see it. He's got the best plate in the game. Do CV. What a guy. Oh, legendary. Maybe he's nice. Dude, this is great. love to see it. I gotta be the guy and ask him what year. He can't be driving this and not be spoken to.
My family's owned it the whole time.
Really?
My dad bought it in New York City in 1962 when Citroen was trying to make a go of it.
Yeah.
And we've had it ever since.
Good Lord.
It's been, sometimes it's been not working very well.
Sure. They're leaky and creaky, but they kind of do their thing, and you can forgive it for a lot of mistakes,
It's a lot of fun to drive.
They're just the best. And that shifter is just such a joy. Like,
you go over a bump and it just, it just bounces.
Well, you don't want to crack any eggs over the freshly plowed fields, do we?
True. I get the pig in the back upset.
Safe travels. Is that not what it's about? Is that not what it's about? Come on. Get to talk to a nice guy in a 2CV. Ugh. So far, living with this Panamera Turbo Sport Truismo, or Sport Truismo Turbo, I don't care, has been lovely. I really like this. It's insulated, it's fast, it's agile. I don't know if it's giving us the cargo space that we typically expect from a proper wagon, because it feels like it's a little cramped back there, especially in comparison to maybe its Mercedes and Audi competitors. But I think getting to wear the Porsche badge with PDK, maybe that's where you can forgive some of those shortcomings. And I also feel like it just has a sportier feel. It feels like it's allowing itself to be a little extra sporty compared to its competition, versus just trying to be a utilitarian thing that they shoved the big engine into. Because the other cars feel like sleepers. The other cars feel like sort of normal station wagons that, you were lucky enough they put that engine in. This car just feels like it was always built for this engine, and it was always meant to be ridiculously fast. It was never meant to be a slow thing. So while today I'm the YouTuber and photographer gearing up for this to go on, bring a trailer, telling you what it's like to drive, maybe someday I'll be the guy returning a book to the library in my 2CV in my small New England town. People are asking me what my 2026 goals are. I feel like I need to manifest whatever that guy's doing. Unbelievable. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you're looking for a cool, sporty, depreciated wagon, look no further. I think you got to drive one of these. You got to at least get it in the mix, and then figure out if the space is what you need it to be. But let's not have that happen. We don't want wagon on wagon carnage. But I've really enjoyed my time here. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I will see you in the next one.